Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mani. Good morning, Deepak. Good morning, Pratik. Can you ask other to join? PL 400, good resource for preparing. Are you planning to get certification? Good morning. Yeah, I will try to share some content with you if you are planning to have this one. Hey, good morning, everyone. So, uh, I'm planning. I'm planning environment. Hey Himanshu, can you share details with me for new environment? If Himanshu can hear me, can notify someone. Good morning, Pulkit. How to get job as a fresher? It's very difficult even now in a day. But if you have some exposure, at least to working in dynamic CRM live project, it will help you to get job. So let me check if that is working. Yes, it's working, Himanshu. No need. It is still having 9 days. Everyone join? Or we supposed to have someone? Let me check how many candidates are joined. Yeah, we are good to go. I see in market there is no opportunity for pressure. Yeah, that's true. Yogendra Chauhan also joined here. Tushar also joined. Say good morning. Okay, so we'll discuss all those part. Lokendra also joined or not yet? Can someone ask him to join? Okay, let's get started. I have some another task today. Today is Monday. It's very difficult sometimes to manage Monday. Happy Monday. Yeah, let me share my screen. So, do you have anything that we can discuss before starting new task? Or we are good? Good. Okay. Are you able to see my screen? Let me know. Start new things. So here we covered security role, teams, privacy, column security, data import, and even the auditing part as well. Now we will talk about masking and duplication. What is data masking and duplication? Duplication we already done that part. DLP policy and templates, localization and multilingual. We'll try to cover all those points here. And even we'll try to discuss multi-currency as well. Multi-currency also, multi-language. We covered multi-currency somewhere. No, not yet. Okay, here else also. Do you have any idea like why data masking is required, data masking is needed? Any idea? Any other place if you heard about data masking and how we have to do data masking part? Any idea why data masking is needed? Okay, let's cover that one from the documents. See, ensuring organization compliance and data integrity through automated deduplication and field level security protocols. So sometimes, company asking those information we should not display in the UI level, that we have handled through, column level security. How we have done, we already know. Like if we don't want to showcase some data to some of the specific columns, it could be estimated revenue, it could be any other revenue which we don't want to expose to everyone. Maybe if we are working for a tender based competition, so that tender amount and the tender value and all those information we don't want to expose to everyone, even in the organization level. It should be displayed for a specific set of users. So that level of even compliance related or requirement, if we have to implement, we can implement that one as well. So suppose column label security, PII information. So here suppose field level security we already covered. Static masking, partial masking, regex regular. Suppose in static masking, standard masking for SSN or credit card where you are entering value is hidden in the UI. Or static masking we already covered. Suppose if we have something like social security number. You heard about social security number? Social security number similar to like we have Aadhaar card in India. So similarly in US based, government, they are maintaining their social security number to identify a person. So in the UI or backend level, we don't want to showcase this particular content. So we have two options. Like either we can hide everything, like whatever we are having, we can hide everything, or that is a static number, whatever we are able to see here, static masking. So static masking and partial masking. Partial masking means whatever we are having, maybe we can showcase last two or four digit number so that they can identify. Sometimes they are showing, last two digit only, like 4243. This is just for identification purpose. Like suppose if we want to check the OTP number, OTP mobile number, so they can showcase initial two character and last two character to identify, or maybe last four character they can showcase, so that you can identify, hey, this number is going to which particular person, or this particular information, like for account number. If we are transferring something, you have seen this particular masking in some of the account number where we have to transfer some data, or maybe this particular information we have to hide everything, but we can showcase last four digit number for like credit card number, or maybe some of the place where we have to showcase. I hope this is not that much complex. Advanced masking using regular expression to format sensitive string based on the character type. So we can, add some internal logic. Suppose we want to showcase only character here, otherwise, number value we have to hide, or we have to showcase only number and we have to hide character. If suppose if someone is saving, PAN card number, suppose PAN card is a combination of character and number, so maybe we can hide, like suppose we have this number, and then we have this phone number, and then we have this number for Aadhaar card, sorry, PAN number. So we can make a logic like we have to show only number field only. We have to hide the character field. So here we can hide this character field, and likewise we can implement this particular logic as well. That is doable. It totally depends like what types of information or what types of requirement we are having as part of this implementation part. Suppose if we want to export some data, risk mitigation through masking. So what we can do, we have to, at least for better user interface, because if we are hiding everything, they don't know. We are transferring, or we are, if suppose if one user is having more than one record, so if we have to select two different account or two different card. So how we will come to know like in which particular account we are going to transfer that particular amount. So in that case, if we are displaying at least for two character here, four character here, so we can easily identify like this is the account, and this particular account we are selecting here to transfer the amount. We have to follow the norms, and we have to give user to complete their daily task. So in that manner, we have to do some masking. I will I will also give you one more example, and even you came to know like where we have to do the data masking as well. So duplicate management here. You can see here exact matching, fuzzy logic, first character as name, across entities, inactive filters. So suppose if you need to implement some duplicate detection rules, maintaining a single records based on the truth in the dataverse. Suppose if you have to maintain some information, like we need to maintain a contact information. If we are maintaining proper contact information, so we should have a proper data. It is not like suppose if we are maintaining contact based on the mobile number uniqueness or email ID uniqueness, or a combination of email ID and mobile number uniqueness. So we should have a proper data. It is not like suppose if a contact, suppose Sunil, if I have one email ID abcd@gmail.com, and I have suppose one number. I need to add one hypothetical number. Suppose this number. So suppose one person is entering same details. So it should not accept actually this duplicate detection, this duplicate data, because we have to have correct data in our data birth, so that if we have to perform something, uh, we can take proper activity based on our correct data. If we have correct data, then we can perform our day-to-day activity or day-to-day maybe process smoothly. So to perform this one, we have to have all those checks and validation before adding a new record or before updating any new record. So if we are maintaining those information, those data, so our data should be correct, and we have to follow or we have to execute, or any organization, it helps to execute their day-to-day process smoothly. So I hope you understand why duplicate reduction or duplicate management is needed to manage or to have data in proper format to run our logic. Understood? How to perform that one? We already checked, like we can create a duplicate reduction rule, and even we can create a uniqueness key, unique key, alternate key we can define based on this particular data, and we can maintain that one. So that system should not accept duplicate data, right? So here, even we can have some exact logic. Like suppose if we have to maintain something, like either we have to check the exact match here. Like if 12121212, this particular number is exactly matched to another record, then we have to give that particular option, or we have to give some, this this particular logic. First five character we have to match in the name, maybe across an entity. We have to check if we have to implement this particular logic in the contact entity. It is not like we have to validate in the contact entity. We can check this validation maybe across all other entity as well. Suppose we are maintaining a custom entity to store some information. So in that other entity also we can check with the help of maybe plugin code or maybe Power Automate, and we can maintain our unique record. Now, impact on the continuous deduplication. So what we have to do, suppose if we have proper data, so we can maintain our data accuracy in our database. Master record consolidation, you know all this particular one. Like suppose if we have to implement this one, what is the benefit here, how to do this particular activity, child record, reparenting, conflict resolution. So suppose what happen, suppose if I already have this particular these types of data in our database, so what will happen if I need to do cleanup activity? So suppose if this is a contact entity, there is a case record, maybe 10 case record associated to this one, 15 case associated to this one, and maybe one case associated to this particular contact. So what you have to do, if you have to perform some logic, suppose you need to merge all those two record, or maybe first you have to merge this particular record into this one and this record into this one. So what you have to do? You have to reparent those child record as well. How to do that one? That is the separate things. But if, because if you are reparenting, or you have to merge this one to this one, or you have to delete those two record and you have to maintain this one, so you have to reparent those two record into this one first, and then you have to delete or you have to merge those two record. So that level of activity you have to perform for child record. You understand child record? That we can implement with the help of different logic here. Maybe you can achieve this particular one with the help of some other custom logic. Maybe you have other option, you can create a, and even you can utilize any other PCF control third party tools as well. There are many other things which you can control, and even if you have to change all those information, you can perform, but by default you cannot perform with the help of either out of the box feature which are available. You have to do some customization as part of this activity. I hope you understand. Maybe we can discuss once we have that JavaScript and other development activity, but you have to understand this particular masking part and deduplication part so that we can cover other things. So here conflict resolution, field by field selection ensure that recent record data is kept. Okay, so here duplication rule, configuration matrix. So contact matching. Either we have to do email level contact matching, account verification, account name, first 10 character, and lead conversation, mobile exact match, and cross entity work email match with contact. So what it means? Suppose if you have to implement the duplicate reduction rule in the maybe contact entity, maybe in the contact entity. So your organization or your customer is asking, hey, we need to match exactly for email address. You can do that one with the help of exactly match of email ID. And in the account level, they are saying first 10 character of account, you have to maintain a validation here. So what it means, account number, account is nothing like a company name. It could be like HCL technology. So they are saying first use those first 10 character. If, and there might be some other scenario like if the name here is less than 10 character, what to do? Anyhow, whatever, character length we are having, we have to go with that one only. We have to go for other terminology. If we are saying, hey, SCL technology, if someone written here, so what to do? So that level of validation we can achieve with the help of that duplicate reduction rule here. And lead conversion, they are saying, hey, implement this one with the help of mobile phone number. Exactly match. And cross entity, like if we have email ID even in the lead, and we have to check in the contact if a contact is already there with the same email ID. So we have to map the exactly existing contact so that we should not create a duplicate record in the contact entity. Likewise, we can implement these particular things. Now, we'll go for DLP policy and templates so that we can cover some part here. Data loss prevention. What is the DLP policy? Do you have anything, any information? DLP policy, data loss prevention government strategy. Suppose you are working for a insurance company, right? If there are 500, 10,000 different even vendors or maybe organization, they are working for a policy domains or health insurance, or maybe it could be different types of claim. So suppose what happens, suppose there are 50 lakh customer data that is deleted from the database maybe, and their policy member, their all the applicable, all the information they have completely deleted. What to do now? Company simply say, hey, our data is lost. Now what to do? We don't have any track. We cannot give you claim. Maybe there is one person who already taken care one policy and he is running last 10-year, 15-year policy, and he already invested so much amount, and now he maybe he or his dependent maybe required some claim, and he may be in hospital and your system is down, completely down. There is no data available. Now what to do? Who is responsible? So in that scenario, government created some rules, and you have to follow those particular rules. And based on those policy, you have to do some prevention, like what to do if a complete system is crashed. You have to utilize your backup system at least last. Uh, 1 hour 2 hour data only you can lose, but you have to be maintain that level of data. You can recover your data maybe within 1 hour or 2 hours. That level of policy, or maybe in that DLP one there are some other norms as well. So government has to monitor all those things, and you have to follow all government norms as part of your data loss prevention policy. As part of this one, how DLP policy works and how standardized templates are there, we have to follow that one. So DLP policy architecture. So this is related to the security one, security policy. So DLP policy act as the different users and different guard of different emails, which is unfortunately exposing organizational data. Or maybe suppose if you have something which you have stored some personal information, or maybe you have stored some that level of information which are not required to every other maybe third party application. Third party application means we have maintained customer data, like this is the customer data, and we have some personal information as well, and to integrate something we have exposed all those data, maybe some other external system, or maybe our one internal application which is exposed across different public domain. So what to do? In that one we have to check, like either this particular API or that data is exposed to or this particular application only, or this particular data is exposed to every any other application. Either they can reuse this particular API and they can reutilize it. Like suppose there is a public website related to our customer, they have to integrate some data with this our CRM application. So it is not like if they have to integrate that data with their public portal, so they can expose everything. And even there is a one API which is responsible to integrate that data with one external system. So they have to communicate only the registered URL only. So that level of control we have to do with the help of DLP policy. This is all about whitelisting. We can say we have to do some whitelisting. Whitelisting means if you have added any application under the DLP policy means there are some regulations added in the dynamic CRM. So if you have to integrate with dynamic CRM, so you have to follow or you have to adjust your DLP policy so that you can communicate with any public based data with the help of even they are using any authentication, proper authentication mechanism, but it should be handled with the help of DLP policy. How we can check that DLP policy? So in Power Platform, you have to check advanced setting. So here in the Power Platform Admin Center, if you need to check, you know, DLP policy, so it should be under here compliance or somewhere. This is auditing. This is the environment here, or it should be data. Here you can see data and privacy. So here you can check this DLP policy setup and guard for environment and tenant wide connectors to reduce data, right? Even here you can add your new policy name. You can add, you can review the connectors, multiple connectors here, test. even in which particular environment it is. Here you can add here, and you can set up all those information, and then you can go. There are some different connectors also. Add to policy. Add to policy we have done, and then there are connectors. Maybe this is the one SharePoint connector, OneDrive, any enterprise, either it is a SQL connector, any connection, if it is connecting to this particular environment, maybe SharePoint connector, and either we have to enable it or we have to block it. Then we have to create policy based on those one, only those policy are enabled here. Test DLP policy. So in that manner, we can adjust all our policy here. We can edit that policy. We can adjust those custom connectors even here. Even there are some connector which is automatically maybe we can blocked here. Business one we have added here, those two connector. Non-business we can, those are not added into the DLP policy, and whatever if we want to block it, we can block from here. So this is completely a whitelisting part. What is whitelisting in integration part? Even you, if you want to learn more things, you can check or you can take help of any AI models. Hope it's clear. Okay. Now we can go for the policy level. Okay, so here security scope we can maintain here, like how many connectors we are having. Connectors means, connectors is nothing like, suppose because we have to connect in, if anyone have any idea related to either Power Automate or Power Apps. In Power Apps, if you have worked in the that Canvas app, so you have seen we need different level of connectors. Connectors is nothing like there is a connection between one environment to another environment. One environment means you are using data bus and you have to use SharePoint. SharePoint also a application under Microsoft ecosystem. But here we have to have the connection between this Dataverse and SharePoint. So why it required? Because if we don't have any access for this SharePoint, because Microsoft is giving logged in base access for those one. So you should have access to this environment, then only you can add you can access any data from SharePoint and maybe from Dataverse. So if you are having any connection, you can create a connection between those two different environment with the help of those user access. If you have that user access, so Microsoft giving a flexibility, you can create a connection. If you have a connection, so you can access SharePoint as well as Dataverse if you have license for both the environment. So that connector you have to do whitelisting with the help of, or you can control that connector with the help of your DLP policy. If you have disabled this connector, like you don't want to expose or you don't want to connect your Dataverse or SharePoint within your application, Dataverse application. Even if user is having SharePoint access, you don't want to connect this Dataverse and SharePoint. So you can block this connection. In that manner you can control. So your admin center or your admin manager, you have that ability, you can even block those connections. Hope it's clear. Yeah, we can create a number of policies. You can create one policy for SharePoint. You can create one policy for other things. You, because we can connect Dataverse with multiple environment, multiple tenant even. We can create n number of policy. Here you can create one more policy, one environment. Here one more policy. You, if you want to create more policy, you can create more policy. So there is no issue to create multiple policy, but if you have to manage n number of policy, so you have to spend some more time. So it's better in one or two policy you have to manage all your customer need, right? This is very advanced information. Even some of the 10, 10, 12, 12 resource, they don't know about all those policies, because only only some of the FT or maybe admin level, they have to manage all those information. But I'm here to explain you all those information on basic level, so that at least you should know how it's work. Policy level, like tenant level, environment level. So I'm explaining all those information with you on higher level. It is not like you are becoming a master here within 30 minutes or 45 minutes. But at least you should have basic idea, and if you want to explore it more, so you can go from here. Business contractor, connector classification, if it is reserved for internal secure like dynamic CRM, SharePoint, SQL server, data can be freely between those. Non-business, so if you want to restrict someone, like if there are some connector available in the Dataverse or maybe in your organization. I will give you one example how it's work. Like suppose if you have Power Automate have m number of connectors. If some of your developers, they have used one connector which is useful for to expose any data from your Dataverse to Twitter, you have that flexibility, but you don't want to expose that data to the Twitter, so you can block those connections. Even a developer has created that connection and they want to expose that data from Dataverse to Twitter, you cannot, because admin has already blocked that connector. Similarly, any social media platform, even if you have to perform any action which you want to block, you can control with the help of that data, DLP policy. Clear? So you can simply block those requirements. Prevention data exit, here. The logic of isolation, the core mechanism to connector isolation. If the apps try to use business connectors, non-business connectors, Google Drive, similarly the DLP launch. So this is nothing like you can block some of the information here. If you don't want to expose that data in the Google Drive, you can block even that connector as well. So DLP policy template that we can utilize, here policy template recommendation, personal productivity environment, financial HR or data. And so these are the different, option here you have as this data policy here templates. These are the features we are utilizing here. Policy creation, you already seen those policy creation, how we have to create. Custom connector, pattern discovery, we already, so I already showcased that one. Discovery, analysis, enforcement. We already did that particular implementation part. So I hope you understand on higher level related to the DLP policy. So yeah, this is advanced topic, but we have to cover at least. See, now localization and multi-language. This is very important. This is especially for everyone. This is not like for technical person and even the salesperson and even the other person also can utilize this particular things, localization and multi-language, and even the multi-currency also, control here. So let's cover this one quickly. So what is localization and multi-language? Suppose you have a customer which is working for different location. Different location means uh, in India, we have seen there are many different local language across, different cities, different even states. We have seen multiple different language. So here there are some language which Microsoft is supporting, and not only for one country, even in the different geographical locations, Microsoft supported multiple different language. So they want to work even in their local language sometimes. Maybe suppose in German country they want to implement their system, maybe their portal or their entire application, maybe in German language. Maybe in France they want to implement their application or their system in French only, or maybe in other country, maybe in Middle East they want to implement their system in Urdu. How we have to give better UI? Better UI means based on the customer need. If they want more efficiently work in different language, not in English, so we have to give that level of UI only. So Microsoft supported those multilingual, multi-language as well. If you want to change that language, it will automatically work, but it is not like everything we have to, it will change. So what we have to do, if we want to showcase, and even if we want to change that particular language part, so we have that personalization setting. So in dynamic CRM they can choose their personalization even in the format. I will show you what level of personalization setting we have in dynamic CRM. It's taking some more time. I hope you understand why multi-language or why multilingual comes into the picture. Suppose in one country we are more confident in Hindi, so maybe we can change. We are able to change this particular portal in Hindi. Maybe one person is more confident in Urdu. They can change in the Urdu. One person is more confident or more, they need all those UI even in the German also. So they can work their local language. That is the main motive for this particular localization. Let's see if that form is open. So here, see, we have that option here. We can change even up our time zone. We can change our language also here. So whatever language part, language pack we have implemented here, so it will work based on the language package whatever implemented here. So if you want to add some, it is not like by default all the language packs are implemented here. So here, if you are working for a one specific country, so there are some specific steps you have to perform that one. So what are the different steps here? So even suppose I will give you one example. Suppose I want to install one new language pack. Uh, language pack in D365 CRM, step by step. So if you have installed any language pack here, so after installing that language pack, you can download one, all the localization sheet into the Excel, and in left hand side it will show the base language is English, and right hand side it will show you the proper language component even in the dynamic CRM. Suppose here, but you have to give the proper information if you have to implement the language part. Suppose here it is showing here the default information here maybe English, and here suppose uh, German, maybe French, or maybe here. So this is the English level. It will show all the default value, whatever labeling here, and we have to add all those language part from after installing that particular language part, and then we have to import that Excel sheet, and it will work automatically. So if you have, in that case, user have that option, you can even here you can select that language, and you and your system, yeah, your entire left navigation, right, every everything it will show in your local language. Maybe you can perform this particular activity in your trial environment and try to implement this particular language pack. So there might be some different requirements. Hey, like we are try to implement the localization in across all the globe. We have 36 country, different country, or 50 country. We have to implement that localization. We need a local guy. So they required a local guys to translate all those information so that they can give the proper information even in the UI part. So they are doing in that manner as well. So here I have showcased like in this particular manner you have to do. So this is on prime environment, and even in the step by step you can do in the cloud online one. Go to the power platform and we setting language, enable required language, save changes. So suppose here in the settings, where it is, are you able to see language here? So likewise, here you have to check all those information, languages. Here you can add any language which you want to install first, and you can perform. So by default, only Arabic also supported, Chinese also supported, Dutch, French, all the suppose this is the German, and even Hindi also available here. If you want to implement all those one, then it will take some time to implement these particular changes. So likewise, you can perform that activity. So localization here, how it's work. 45 plus language, Unicode support, 180 currencies. Even there are multi-currency support also available here. Like it is not like if one person is working in one different currency, it is also supported other currency as well. Set environment creation permanent. Here we can perform all those things here, like alert, email templates, workflow, individual UI, help, form level, localization level, import via metadata, reporting, Power BI, SSRS record, even the views, whatever we have created, it will show in the user language and base language here. So here you can see the base language set on environment creation, and user language here by personal option that I have showcased you. Admin management, 180 currency here, provision, customization, export, import. So that I told you, if you want to give the proper labeling, so Microsoft has given you option, you can export the localization label and you can change proper localization label, and then you can re-import it again. So here example region here. In base models, English 45, French, Spanish, localization, those are the simple allocation for the users if you are working across all different global location. Data level. So data level, like here, suppose if you are entering data into dynamic CRM, so that level of data level of localization it is not supported. If whatever you are entering, it is saving into that one only. Only related translation stored into the different location. Suppose it is importing. Suppose in localization level means here, where it is. Suppose if you have opened here, it is taking some time because we are importing, those language here. So if you are adding some information, suppose I have created one form, first name. This is the user input. So here it this display name can be changed, but the data, suppose here whatever I'm entering here, so it will display across all the location whatever I'm entering, but it will change dynamically based on the label whatever we have added in the exported file. What this particular data cannot be converted based on the localization part. This is very important part. It is not like this Sunil Kumar may be directly converted. If I am entering here Sunil Kumar, it will be converted and it will showcase to other user in Hindi if they have changed this particular data. Data should be same, but display levels can be different here based on the localization part. It's clear? Clear. Okay, let's complete it. Child entity also related entity, it will work. Intelligence and scale, base language, exchange rate, governments, UAT, verified report. So it will work like if you have done that particular activity in your lower environment, you can perform the same thing in the other environment as well. So this is related to the localization part, localization and multi-language. So time and region, even you can change. Time and region, how you are changing? I already showcased like here in the user or personalization setting. You have that option. You can change here your time zone. If you are working in GMT or IST, you can change. You are working in UTC, you can change here. Even here in the format level, if you want to showcase this particular currency format, it will showcase. Even if you want to change this format to English India, it will change here. It totally depends, like if you can change the format as well. Default template, here you can you can add your personal template, email template, your signature, and it will automatically attach whenever you are sending that an email. Email level also you can even do some personalized level changes. If you want to showcase 50 record per record even in your grid level, so you have that option here. You can make this particular one as 250 as well. What it mean here, record per page? I think you should have all those information now. Sales style, it is taking some time. Suppose in grid level, as of now, Here you are able to see maximum record as 22 as of now. But if you here you can see maximum 50 record if you have selected 50 record. And if you want to change this one, so you have option to make it to 50 maximum at the same time. So you can adjust that one. Okay, that option you have. Let me know if you have any other questions. Otherwise, we are over the time. We can close. Initial time we have max, we have more resource, but after sometimes you have less energy, we have less candidate. We are not able to utilize our 1 hour. Okay, thank you everyone. Happy Monday. We'll meet tomorrow.